A stroke, it's quite common that 20 to 30% of you guys will be having this condition called foot drop. Foot drop is as simple as it sounds. It is just the inability to lift up your ankle or your foot, bending it upwards when you're walking. And this can lead to pain, this can lead to fatigue when you're walking, and a lot of times this can lead to falls or balance issues because of the weakness in your ankle muscles. And ankle muscles are very important for balance because they actually contribute to one of the strategy, which is the ankle strategy, to keep yourself upright and actually manage your perturbations when you are in an upright position. So this is very important, and if you do not address this properly, you're going to end up having a lot of falls, and this is going to cause you much more impact, much more dangerous for your stroke condition itself. So what are the strategies that you can use to overcome foot drop after a stroke? You can break it down into active strategies and passive strategies. By active strategies, what I mean is you're using your muscle strength or you're using your exercises to correct this foot drop condition. By passive strategies, you're using equipments or modalities to correct this condition. So we'll start off with passive strategies first. So for passive strategies, we have this thing called the NMES, which is Neuromuscular Electrical Stimulation. I will link down the product below, and this is a product that I've been using for some of my patients, and it is one of the products that is a bit on the cheaper side. Although I say it's cheaper, these units are not very cheap to begin with, but this is slightly on the cheaper side that from what I've searched online. And an NMES unit is going to be very useful, especially in the early days whereby you do not have any strength. That means no matter what you do, you're not able to bend your ankle upwards. And NMES is just using electrodes and an electrical current to stimulate this muscular components so that your ankle is moving, and this actually prevents it from deconditioning, because if you're not having any strength in this muscle group, then you're not going to use it, and most of the time this muscle will just start to shrink. And when the muscle strength does come back a little bit, you're going to be at a disadvantaged situation because the muscle is already much more weaker because of the deconditioning and the shrinking of the size. So NMES is a very good way to preserve the muscle strength and also kind of to keep the effects of the muscle still ongoing even though there is no power at the start. And for NMES, you have to do it for very long term. You can start off for about 30 minutes at a time, and you can do about 2 times a day if you're able to tolerate. If not, just stick to once a day. And the next thing is called the AFO. AFO is called an ankle foot orthosis. And AFOs are very, very useful at the early days, especially when you do not have the strength. These AFOs come in a variety of models and sizes, and they do a very good job in helping you to prevent having a fall. And although in the early days AFOs can really help to prevent a fall and improve your efficiency in walking, the secret to AFO is that you cannot become too reliant on it, especially in the later stages of your stroke recovery, because there's this thing called the learned non-use, and the moment you end up becoming too dependent on this, you're not going to use your muscles to actively lift up your feet, and this will cause you to actually become a bit more weaker on your ankle. And this will actually also lead to falls, especially at night time when you're going to walk to the bathroom. You won't have the time or you won't have the ability to don on your AFO at night, and this can actually lead to a fall. Just an example that I've heard from my patients. So for AFOs and NMES, you can do it. These are very, very useful at the early stages, but especially for AFO, towards the later stages of your stroke recovery, you have to do some exercises with and without the AFO so as to train up the muscles and not becoming too dependent on it. So for the active exercises, I'm going to show you a few exercises, and this will range from having no strength at all, whereby in the early days, to having some form of strength or having a decent amount of strength and into walking itself. Starting off with exercises for the poor muscle strength, we are going to firstly start with passive dorsiflexions. To start, use your stronger hand to lift up the weaker leg and put it across in your other leg. And grab the foot over the distal portion and just move your ankle and feet into an upward direction and a downward back to neutral. Repeat this exercise as often as you can and do it for about 20 repetitions, 5 sets a day. While doing this, also focus on moving your ankle and just visualizing in your mind that you want to bend your ankle up and bring it back down. So just do that visualization together with this exercise. The next exercise is called passive dorsiflexion with a TheraBand. For this exercise, if you're not able to get the TheraBand as shown in this video over the foot, then you can use your assistance from a caregiver or from someone to assist to get the TheraBand over the feet first. Once done, then you just want to pull using the TheraBand and pull it towards you, causing your ankle to bend upwards. The moment it is bent upwards to the end of the range of motion, release the TheraBand slightly and try your best to hold this position using your visualization and also using the active muscle contraction. And if you're not able to do it for very long, it is okay. Just do for even a short duration and just let go of the TheraBand fully and come back to neutral position. Repeat this exercise for about 10 to 20 times, 3 to 5 sets every day. And lastly, if you fall into this category of poor muscle strength, then I highly recommend you to get an NMES unit as mentioned before, and doing the NMES every day for about 30 minutes while you also want to visualize and get some active core contraction in when the NMES unit is moving your ankle up and down. This will actually be very beneficial for this group of patients. Now we are moving to the next category where you have some strength, minimal strength, whereby you have some movement in the ankle. For this set of patients, you want to do your active dorsiflexion exercise. So there's two positions that's shown here. One is just sitting over the edge of your sofa or your bed, and the other one is while having in a long sitting position, putting a pillow under your knee and doing the exercise of active dorsiflexion. So just try to visualize the movement, and together with visualization, just ankle bend upwards and bring it back to neutral. You want to do this for about 10 to 20 times, repeat it for about 3 to 5 sets daily. The next exercise is called weight shifting forward. For this, you want to use your hand, a stronger hand, to hold onto a chair for support and bring your weaker leg forward and just lean your body weight forward into the weaker leg by bringing your knee forward above and beyond the toes. And while doing this movement, I want you to control using your ankle tibialis anterior muscle. I'm going to show it where is it in the video here. Use that area of your muscle to actually control your body forward translation. So using that, you will feel a bit of soreness over your lateral part of your shin area. That is how you know that you're doing this exercise correctly. Now, if you're having weakness on your leg generally, this may be causing your knee to move forward even more. So this exercise actually is good for your knee and for your ankle also. So do it in a very controlled manner. If need be, you need to have some support. Get a caregiver or assistant to actually hold your body upright, meaning prop yourself on the shoulder joint area to keep your body upright while you're doing this exercise. Now for the last group of patients whereby you have enough strength to actually do a full range of movement of your ankle dorsiflexion and you're also walking fairly decently. For this group of patients, you want to start off with active resisted ankle movements. So I'm showing you three movements in this clip here. First is active dorsiflexion, next is active inversion, and the last one is active eversion. You want to do with a TheraBand tied to a support structure and do these exercises for about 10 repetitions on each of the movement and repeat for 3 to 5 sets as tolerated. So for this group of patients, you are already walking every day, and if you're using an AFO, it is time to off your AFO and do some walking practice without your AFO on. If you still need the AFO, it's okay. Just make sure that you have times of with your AFO walking and without your AFO walking, so that you actually get a feel of how it is like going to be in the future when you're going to be off your AFO. When you're walking without your AFO, you want to make sure that you're bending your ankle up during every swing of your weaker leg that you take. And by doing this repetitively, your ankle movement will start to improve and your walking distance will also start to improve with a lesser risk of falling down. Okay, so I hope this video has given you a summary of foot drop after a stroke, and if you have enjoyed this, then do check out my other videos in this channel or also check out my stroke playlist whereby we go through a lot of exercises for stroke survivors. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.